many of my very close friends, they have related to me very many experiences, spiritual experiences, and I cannot deny this. Why I would like to know more in order to explain to them the truth.
It all depends on what specific experiences they have related to you. The question which I raised applies to all such experiences, but particularly in case of one who insists that he has seen actually the ruh of somebody who's supposed to be dead. The questions can be, counter questions should be raised. Was that ruh dressed like ordinary human dress or not? What was she wearing? Or was she naked? And if naked, how can one describe to us the body of the spirit? And what were the various organs of the spirit and so on. But if you cannot describe the organs like human organs of the spirit, then that is something which is undescribable, indescribable, nondescript. So you have been talking to something which you could not see. But if the moment you begin to see that something, it has to be seen in human form, and that is what they claim. Exactly in the features which the person remembers of that person who's dead, and wearing ordinary human clothes. Can a spirit wear ordinary human clothes? That is the question. And as far as the test to the truth of such people is concerned, we have applied this test here and found the answer very clearly that they are all frauds. Either frauds or mad people, or sycophants and things, not sycophants, suffering from psychic diseases. The positive test was once given by Hazrat Muslim Maud, my late father, to a spiritualist here in England. My late father, Hazrat Muslim Maud, when he visits Syria and also during the same journey he visited Syria and then England. And in England, when he heard of some renowned spiritualists who was famous for their science and claim that they can call the spirit of anyone who is dead and considered to be completely out of reach of human awareness. He said, we can produce them and you can speak to such a person, no problem. So this was becoming, this hocus pocus was becoming very popular in England in those days. So Hazrat Muslim Maud suggested that I would like to see you personally, and I would like a spirit to be called back from wherever it is to come and speak to me. And it was well organized, and the lady was ready with all, her tricks. And as Muslim Maud reached there, the lights were dimmed, a very special, impressive atmosphere was created. In the background there was light movements, like things, like wind is blowing softly, sometimes rising in crescendo, sometimes falling down to whispers and things. So in all this very mysterious atmosphere, a lady addressed my late father, Hazrat Muslim Maud, and said, we are ready. Which soul would you like to appear? He said, of course, the soul of Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. It's the only soul I would love to meet. And imagine, after a while she said, yes, it is here. You can speak to him. Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Nauzubillah min zalik, God forbid, according to this lady, was already there. So Hazrat Muslim Maud said, not that you are Rasulullah, he said, oh, the spirit, the so-called spirit, can you recite Surah Fatiha to me, please? And the soul of the so-called Muhammad Rasulullah said, I'm sorry, I don't know Surah Fatiha. He said, I'm sorry, you're not the soul of Muhammad Rasulullah. So you can put these things to real tests. I once did it myself during my experience as the in charge of a Langar Khana. You know, in Rabwa, during Jalsa Salana, we had sometimes guests to the tune of 150,000, 200,000 and so on. So there was various arrangements, separate arrangements for preparing the bread and the what do they call, the curry, bread and curry for these people. I was in charge of one such arrangement. And although all of us worked there voluntarily, but sometimes some professional help is also to be employed, because to make, you know, we call it pera, the round balls of kneaded flour, and then to flatten it, you know, like this, into a round chapati, as we call it, or roti. This is not the task of everybody. Non-professionals cannot do it. So for that purpose and that purpose alone, we had to employ a large number of ladies from the surrounding areas of Rabwa, who were almost all of them illiterate, but they could make a bread very well indeed. So once in the middle of the night, a volunteer rushed in panic to me, and he said that all the workers who are putting the bread in the ovens, you know, earthen ovens, they have run away, and they have gathered in a big barrack where a lady who used to make the bowls has received a jinn. The spirit, not the jinn, but the spirit of a holy man. And everybody is overawed, and everybody is deeply interested in watching what this holy man is doing to this poor lady. And the work is stopped. In Rabwa, where you prepare the food for, in my Langar Khana, the food had to be prepared by the morning for 30,000 guests. So half an hour break would mean maybe 5,000 are left without food. It's impossible for us to permit such a thing, but they would not listen to anything. As long as they were convinced that an old dead saint has come to occupy this lady, they would not move from their tomb. So I immediately went to the lady myself, and she was in a trance apparently. And I inquired from her, who is it who is visiting you? The voice, again, strangely, had a malish tinge to it. And the answer was not given by the lady, but by that voice. It said, I am Nawbahar Shah, Sayyid Nawbahar, you know. And I am the great saint who lived across the river in a small village, and he's quite famous anyway. So I am visiting this lady. Who are you to interfere? I said, I have not come to interfere, I have come to meet you, Mr. So-and-so. And I've heard your name, your fame. I want you to recite to me Surah Fatiha. This trick I had learned from my father, the real trick. And these women even do not know Kalama La ilaha illallah. So the Pir Sahib said, I'm sorry, I don't remember Surah Fatiha. And this, all the Ahmadi workers had a big laugh. And suddenly the stance was broken. This lady came out of the stance, and the work was restarted. So these people can be put to test. Right? Please. So you can put to test all such claims very easily. Only you have to use your intelligence a little bit, which you have enough, I know.
لم ينجح. جربت. قال لا أدري، هو ليس ما كان في تركيز فقال أنا لم أنجح اليوم. قال بعد ذلك.
Okay. Please translate this.
يقول له حضرة أمير المؤمنين عليك أن تختبر كل هذه التجارب كل من يدعون واستعمل ذكائك لتصل إلى هذه النتائج. فأجاب الأخ محمد شريف فقال جربت ذلك ولكنني لم أنجح.
هو لم ينجح.
هو لم ينجح. قال أنه الآخر لم ينجح وليس الأخ.
Now, let's turn to the next
I
question.
think the
please.
ladies' turn now.
But you know what you did?
No.
You translated him into Arabic.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Instead of English, you translated him into Arabic, which he knows very well himself.
Yes.
Huh?
I know.
Okay. Next question, please.